Welcome back, this is Jack. Please ignore all the fans and all the stuff behind me doing a lot of move, and it's really hot in the apartment. I found a Doomslayer build that I really want to show you. And also ignore the construction going outside. I can't close the sliding glass doors because, once again, the heat. Alright, let's get started with this build, alright? I'm going to start by explaining the super shotgun side, the double barrel shotgun. I don't have it fully upgraded, but even then, it's still pretty good. The reason why I'm saying you start looking for this first is purely because it's easy and you can get both of the mod and the weapon in one run. Blood Draw is really good because it not only gives you bleeding, but it actually does a little bit of explosive damage upon impact, which that's important for a reason. I do have Slayer on there because this weapon reloads a lot, so you almost constantly have the 10% bonus on it. Now for the primary weapon, you can use an assault rifle or whatever you feel is appropriate for you. I'm using this because I'm a challenger and you're going to be in close range almost all the time anyway, so it works out nicely. You're going to want the Helix because, once again, explosions. I'll explain that in a minute. Harmonizer is also a nice one because as you're using this shotgun, your super shotgun might be charging, and I think it actually works in reverse. I can't promise that. But it also powers up the mods itself, making it better. Classes are going to be Challenger and Engineer, and as you can see, I have not fully upgraded them, but they're still really good. The first main reason is because of both Strongback and Fortify. Strongback reducing your encumbrance so you can wear heavy armor without as much of a penalty, and Fortify, your armor that you are wearing is even better. Just having those classes gives you those perks. Additionally, you have two choices in which skills you want to use. Juggernaut's nice because it makes you very hard to really damage. Bulwark, for each stack of Bulwark, it reduces damage by about 10%, and there are many ways to get additional Bulwark if you really want to. And of course, you can also just do Rampage, which is basically like when Doom Guy goes on a rampage. And of course, you have these down here, close range, doing more damage, yada yada yada. On the engineering side, you can use any one of his turrets. I do think the flamethrower comes out ahead because of one of the rings we're wearing, and we'll get to that right now. Alright, amulets. This is the reason why you're using so much explosions. Detonation trigger. It increases the damage of raw explosions, but also makes them apply burning. So anything that does even 1 point of explosion damage will also apply that burning. Guess what? Your blood draw does that. And of course I have blasting cap ring just to increase that explosion damage, which really helps out the Helix. But you can switch that out if you really want. I do recommend the Firestone because all of these will always be doing the fire damage anyway, and it's a decent amount, but also the fire resistance is nice. This is probably one of the only rings I'm going to say you have to have, which is Low Yield Recovery Ring. Killing an enemy regenerates 5% max health over 5 seconds, and duration increases as you're killing things. Even if you're not doing this build specifically, this is just a phenomenal ring to have for self-sustainment and you don't want to use relics, or using a relic that actually doesn't heal you. And the Shard Banded Ring, I only have on here because I wanted to. There are other options, I'll get to those in a second. But it increases mod damage, making my mods more powerful, and since I like using them, there you go. You can use the Mechanics Cog, because while carrying your engineering weapon, you move faster, but you also get 1 stack of Bulwark. So if you crack your ultimate on your Challenger, then pull out your turret, you're going to have a total of 4 stacks of Bulwark. However, if you're more likely to lay it down, you can instead use Soul Guard. That'll still give you that +1 on it. That'll still give you +1, and if you decide to switch out one of the mods for one of the ones that will summon a creature for you instead, you'll have even more Bulwark. Soul Link is another good one because since your turret counts as a summon, it'll also be healing you as it does damage. That's another nice choice. Another odd one you can throw in is Blood Tinged Ring. Because you're going to be causing people to bleed with the grappling hook, it'll cause people to bleed. However, since that is not a constant or a consistent one, I do recommend the Summon Lifesteal one instead. Unless you're also using Blood Jewel, where your charged melee attacks will cause bleeding. Because of the traits I have, you can also use Anastasia's Inspiration, or however you say that name, which I actually should probably have on right now that I'm thinking of it. Now, when it comes to traits, the ones I'm going to directly say is the obvious ones is Vigor, more health, and Regrowth. Then you're just constantly healing. So between all the other stuff, you're just going to constantly be getting health back, and you have a lot of health. Everything else really comes down to your choices. Siphoner is good because I like Lifesteal. Fitness because I like Evade Distance. Untouchable because I like having a larger window to dodge. And Endurance so I can dodge more often. And since I am wearing heavy armor, it's going to cost a lot of stamina to do those dodges. Now, for armor, this is all entirely your choice. I'm choosing the Tactician because I like the aesthetics more. If you want to go for the green look, you do have the Void Skulls. It's slightly lighter, less durable. However, if you want to and you've maxed out Challenger, so it's reduced, or you're wearing the ring that makes you be able to do full dodges no matter what, the Leto armor, either Leto Mark II or Mark I, will be just as good. because it's the highest armor class you're going to have in the game, but it's almost guaranteed you'll be fat rolling. I personally do not like fat rolling, so I do not use it. Now, this build is not a perfect build. There are obvious ways to improve it. However, it is mostly a cosmetic build, and it is, in my opinion, a really good build. So I hope you give that build a try. I've had a lot of fun using it, what little I've gotten into, because I just kind of really figured it out recently. And I do hope to see you in the next one, all right? You take care.